1 of Memory League Season 12, and this is Katie versus me. And since that is a bit strange to commentate in an objective way on your own match, I decided to do it not objective, but I do it from my perspective, which might work quite well here. So that match was very interesting to me, and I really wanted to win that. I was training quite a bit before that match, and international names was the first discipline chosen by Katie. And of course, the only glorious thing about my approach here, my attempt here, is this nice time of 59.99 seconds, which is just under 1 minute. But of course, that didn't help me in any way against Katie in international names, and I lost that 23-9. Of course, that was somehow planned because I can't really win against Katie in international names, so that was part of my plan, losing that one. And then my plan was to choose either numbers, cards, or images, and I decided to do cards first because these three disciplines are the disciplines I really can choose, and of course I had to win cards. And I went for 24.53, but you can maybe tell here from my face and from my reaction that I'm not happy with that time, because that could be too slow against Katie, and I wasn't aware, of course, that she went for a time of 35 seconds. But yeah, I was like, okay, maybe it's enough, maybe not, I don't know, but I have to figure that out first. The recall started okay, but I was already a bit slow here in the beginning and had some gaps. That's always the reason why these red cards appear here. In the end, it should not matter too much because I can just shift these cards and then they should be all correct. But I knew that I would need to win that game here to stay in a good position against Katie. I mean, even if I would lose cards, nothing would be over yet, but that was already a bit of pressure on me here. Okay, and here comes the shift, and it didn't feel so bad for me. In the meantime, Katie was already done with 52 cards, but of course I didn't know that. But my problem was that I misencoded something in the memorization phase, and I was aware of that. I saw that there should be, if I would have memorized everything correct, there should be two of hearts. But of course that's not possible, and that means that I misencoded one of two images, and I had to guess which one was the image which I misencoded, and make a decision 50-50, 2 of diamonds here or 2 of hearts there. And I was thinking about that quite a while, and with just 20 seconds to go, I had to make a decision here, and I decided, the wrong decision for me, put it that way. And then I was just clicking something and suddenly everything just moved, but I couldn't move it back. That was my problem here. I was clicking and nothing worked. So in the end, I was just frustrated, and I was really cursing around here because I felt, what is that? I couldn't click it back, and in the end I ended up with 0 cards. And the strange thing is that the 4 of diamonds is still up there. And you see that on the upper left part, and usually, if I'm not mistaken, that goes back to the bottom row. So I don't know, something was wrong here, and in the end my problem was that I swapped these cards anyway, so that wasn't a problem for the score. But I was a frustrated guy here at this moment, being already 2-0 done and facing words next. And of course I calculated beforehand that I might have a hard time to win against Katie, and being down 2-0 already meant I lost cards and I needed some kind of break here, so words would help me here. I wasn't really expecting winning words or doing something close to it, And I didn't know here that Katie was just up to 46 here, which is under their normal score, but just 2 gaps, of course. But usually she gets close to 50 very, very often. And so I had a chance here with 2 spelling mistakes in the first column, which I was able to fix at some point here. But that only meant that I was up to 45 to 46. Of course, as I said, I didn't know that here, and Katie with 46 still thinking about their gaps. Can she close that gap here? Or can I get some more words here? I was like, no gaps, no chance here. Waiting for the final result, drinking some water here, and seeing that result even frustrated me more here, because there was like a door opener here for me. Winning words, it would have been possible here. You don't get the chances very often against Katie, and then you lose it with 45. So I was like, oh no, I missed that chance again here. So what should happen that I have a chance here to win that match here in the end if nothing works out? So really frustrating situation for me here. Okay, so then it was my choice again here against Katie, and I choose national names, which is still in huge favor for Katie. But my thinking here was the following, and that was my strategy throughout the match. And I knew, okay, I'm 3-0 down now, even if in the very, very, very unlikely case that I would win the next 6 games in a row, I would still have to choose either words or names. And there would be no way around here for me to choose that or not to choose that. So I decided, why not choosing it right now, playing national names right now, and see the outcome of that discipline, because I would have to choose it anyway. Yeah, but in the end, everything was normal. Katie even not in her chair here anymore, having a short break here. And you see me on the left here still thinking about some more names here, but 25 is not good enough against Katie in names today. So 4-0 for Katie, 30 names, perfect recall here for Katie. And congrats on that one. 4-0, Katie. And yes, that sounds more than horrible. 4-0 down against Katie here. What can you do? But I still thought, okay, maybe I have a chance, because there are disciplines left, almost only disciplines left, which are a bit more in my favor, I would say, because we already played 2 names and we played 1 word. So Katie was up to choose only images, cards, or numbers. So she chooses images next, and I managed to do a nice time here of 18.8 seconds, while Katie was taking it a bit more slow here. So still a chance. If I would win this images now, I'm 4-1 down, but still have good disciplines to choose next. However, also here during the recall, I was in trouble and I was so slow, and I was really thinking hard about almost all the images here in the end. You see that we have just 25 seconds left. Katie already done here with her 30, and that is the next discipline, which might frustrate me here a lot. And just 15 seconds left, but 5 images to go here in the end. Of course, you can click that and try to put it in the right spot. I was not sure about many of them here, but I managed to do 28 here, but then just 1 second, and that was it. And I not even got the last 2 into the board here, into this set, and that way I lost that discipline with 28 out of 28, but the last 2 I didn't put here, and that made me really, really annoyed here by myself. Because now 5-0 down, what can you do? And with the same thinking as before, I could also choose words at this point already, because I would have to choose it at some point anyway if I would have a chance to win that match, or at least get it close to a win. But in the end, I decided to not lose 6-0 here and just choose words, because I have to choose it anyway. And I decided to not lose 6-0 and try to go for at least some points here, starting on with images. And in this images attempt, we were both very close to each other with good times here, and I finished with just under 20 seconds while Katie finished with 21.68 seconds. And in that attempt, Katie was already done here with 30 images. I was still thinking about 2 of them because they look quite similar if you just look at them in one glance, but I made my decision here and I was pretty sure that this is correct. I clicked the finish button and that was the 5-1 and the next choice by Katie. So Katie chose cards here, trying to get her last point on cards, and you see me stuck here a bit, but I think the screen was just not synchronized, so I'm starting a bit later, but my clock was also starting later. So everything okay here technical wise, and Katie also tried to win it maybe right now with a nice cards time, not waiting forever here to win it in the end. She stopped the clock at 25.8 seconds, which is a very strong time, and I was able to stop the time a bit earlier. Just remember, the screens were not synchronized here. And this time I had a quite good recall here, so no problem for me. Katie was struggling here a bit, but she tried to get a faster time here, and she tried to get it done here already. Didn't work out yet, but still 5-2 lead for Katie, and I had to choose the next discipline. So I went with numbers again, just a couple of disciplines left here. Katie had numbers left and I words and numbers, so I of course have to choose numbers right now. And in that discipline, I went for a nice time of 20 seconds. Katie played it safe here with 58.96 to wait for a mistake from my side. And in the end, I was happy with my 80, while Katie has one tiny mistake here. So it was 5-3 only now. And at this point, Katie has to choose numbers as the last discipline. And I knew, okay, maybe I can put some last pressure on her if I can get the numbers done here. Katie played it safe again here with this time with 80 digits. But I need to figure something out here. I had swapped the first 6 digits here, or these 6 digits, and I was able to fix that. The question was, could I possibly fix that here to get a 5-4 and to force a last game on words here, which I really would like to see, but I wasn't able to do that. And that's a 6-3 win for Katie. Congratulations, Katie, beating me in the quarterfinal. Very nice performance. I was really not happy about that because I felt this time I prepared myself quite okay, and was really hoping for something, but just didn't work out. So congrats, Katie.
Hi.
Hello.
First off, congrats, Katie.
Thank you.
On advancing to the semifinals. Your thoughts on the game?
It was interesting. I think in the first few games there was some mistakes by Hannes, and I just got lucky that I won a few games in a row, but then obviously it's a bit harder for me in like cards and numbers and images, so started to struggle a bit. So I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but it went okay in the end. And always great playing Hannes, especially like words. We're very close at words and kind of different strengths in other areas, but really nice match.